Hello guys, good evening, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'll show you how to migrate a server from one region to another region through AWS migration service with using MGN service. So previously AWS was using the name as server migration service. So the name has been changed to application migration service. So don't confuse about application migration service and server migration service. So I'll deploy a server in the Mumbai region and I will transfer the server to North Virginia region with the application migration service. So I will migrate a server, I'll migrate my data from the application migration service using to the North Virginia region. So let's get back to this, how to do this migration process. So this is my Mumbai region where I have created my VPC in 10.80 series. If you see my subnets, I have public and private, where I have public in 10.80.100 series. And the route table, if you see here, public route table is attached to the internet gateway only. And the routes 10.80 will be in local. So go to the instances and deploy an EC2 instance in the public subnet. I'll give as migration server. This is my server name. I'll go with t2.micro is enough for me, and I'll go with my key pair. This is my Mumbai VPC and I'm giving the public subnet. Enable the public IP, select the existing security group to allow SSH access and GP3. These are custom optimized, cost optimized. So go to the instance. This is my running server, which is in pending state. This is my private IP and this is my public IP. So now the instances in running state. Let's get back to the putty and connect to the server. The username. You will authenticate with the PIM file. It is PPK format. So if you see here my IP address, this is in 10.80.100.75. It is in the Mumbai VPC. So I need to transfer this migration server to my North Virginia region, which is in the same AWS account. So I have created a VPC in the 10.90 series, but if you see here in my VPC, Mumbai region is 10.80 series. So don't confuse. And the IP should be does not overlap with the same range. So I have created with 10.90. If you see here the subnets, I have only public subnet, which is attached to the public route table. You see here subnet associated, the routes will be internet gateway. So I am transferring my data through internet with the application migration agent. So the data will be going beyond the internet and going to the North Virginia region to this VPC, and it will create in the public subnet this server. So how to achieve this we will show in this video. So go to the instances. Okay, North Virginia. So go to the application migration service. So VPC has been set up, so there is no need to go to instances. Go to the application migration service and go to the application template. Edit your template as you want. So choose your template which you need to launch the replication server in which subnet. I will go with the public subnet. I will go with the t3.small, and encryption is default, and GP3 for cost optimization. I'll go with create public IP. This is where you can choose if you want to transfer your data from private IP through VPN service or direct connect or VPC peering. So this will be more encrypted and it will be more secure, your data. So I'm going through internet, so I don't have any secure data. So I'll go with the public IP. So this is my template. Go to the source servers, you can hit add server. If you can see here agent installation, this is on basis of agent installation. So you can try agentless installation also, so that is the different process. So if you want to Windows, you need to download the installer and into the destination target machine, and you need to hit this. So I'm going with the Linux operating. I have EC2 volume in the Mumbai region. So replicate all disks. With the use of authentication, MGN agent installer will create for IAM user. So with the agent, it will need IAM access key and secret key. So MGN agent installer is an IAM user. It is creating a policy as agent application migration agent installation policy. So it has been created. We need to download the keys. This is where access key and secret key. If you close this, you can never get this console. So be aware of that. And open the file and paste the IAM access key and secret key here. Here is no file. Okay. This is my file, which MGN agent installer access key and secret key. This is my access key. And this is my secret key. Copy paste here and copy the replication commands here. And before entering the commands, you can create some data. I'll create in the /root. Let me check if there is any content here. No, nothing content. Touch mgn1, mgn2. So these are the files I have created. ls. So let me create one more file. That's tarun.txt. So I'll have some contents here. So I have given some content in the file. Sorry. So this is my data should be replicated from Mumbai region to North Virginia region. It will be going through beyond the internet. So this, if you see here, the volume is having 8 GB volume. So this volume should be replicated from Mumbai to North Virginia region. So how to achieve this, I will show you. So copy the installer command. It will install the replication installer. So this will be connecting to internet and the application installer has been installed. So copy the second command into the source server. So with this Python 3 script, it will access the AWS access key and secret key. So there will be a token, a backend. It will be generating with the access key and secret key. So it will be taken as AWS access key and secret key. So it will transfer the data. So it is identifying the volumes. So I am having a 8 GB volume. If you see here in the console, I am having a storage of 8 GB volume. It is not encrypted. I don't have any KMS key. So let's get back to the MGN console in North Virginia. So it will take some time to replicate the data. It will transfer this data to the replication server in the North Virginia. So the replication server need to be booted up. It will take some time. So downloading has been done. It is finished. Now it is installing. So if you see here North Virginia EC2 console, I don't have any server. there is no running server in my North Virginia EC2 console. If you see here in the MGN console in North Virginia, the replication server, it has been synced. So the source server is synced with MGN console. So now I can see my source server here in the MGN console. This is my server which is replicated. If you see here, the data replication status is initiated. So the replication type is agent based, and the migration life cycle it will take automatically. Back in the automation code it will be there in the AWS. So go to the migrated server. So the application progress is still in creating the initiation steps. It will create security groups, application server, it will boot the application server, authenticate with the service, and this many things you need to do. And for cost optimization, you can check this and change staging type while in a progress also. Because I don't want to choose with the HDD, it will be very slow. I'll go with the GP3, it will be very fast. If you change the disk while in a progress also, it won't be affect any data. If you see here in the EC2 console, there is no EC2 instance. When the process is completed, you can see here the replication server in the North Virginia console, EC2 console. So let's wait for, so here it has been completed. So I have total quota of 20. I have one active source server in North Virginia. So it will take some time to create the initiation steps. If you want to see the logs, you can see here. So here you can see here initiation steps has been gotten, the three steps. So go to the launch configuration. It is launching one replication server with the access key and secret key. If you see here the my ID, account ID. So this is the CloudTrail logs. You can watch in the metrics. So it is authenticating with the service. The fourth step has been done. It is downloading replication software. If you see here, the AWS application migration service replication server has been running. So it is initiating the status 6. So the data has been copied to the replication server in North Virginia. So in this replication server we have the data. So we need to create any EC2 instances from this replication server. I'll show you how to do this. It is creating staging disk. It is another step. And this is replication settings, which we have done in the settings page. These are the launched replication template. You can see here the replication settings. The same subnet I have chosen the public subnet t3.small, and I will go with a dedicated no dedicated replication server. Why? Because it will be very cost if you use a dedicated replication server. And if you see here, I am going with a public IP through internet. I'm not going with a private IP. You can see here the disk settings, and I am going with a GP3 volume, and the EBS encryption is default. And it will automatically create a security group for this replication group server. You can attach any additional security groups. You can go into edit and you can edit the security groups. So it has been the final step. It is starting the data transfer from the source to destination, the target server. So you can see here the next action will be waiting for initial sync to complete. So it is syncing with the source server. So I have total of 8 GB replicated storage. It's still in initializing the data transfer. Let me refresh my page. So the replication progress has been completed to 36%. So you need to refresh the console page. That's what it is stuck to here. 36 has been completed. You can see here the total replicated storage 2.91 has been completed, around 8 GB out of 8 GB. There is no lag, there is no backlog. Still it is 36%. So you can see here 6.31 GB out of 8 GB it has been replicated. You can see the progress 79% has been completed. So that's what I have chosen. The disk settings is GP3. It will be more fast when compared to hard disk. It will save my time also. Still it is in 79%. So the replication progress has been completed and it is creating first launchable snapshot, and 8 GB has been completed. So if you see here, it is 2x2 checks pass and it is storage of default it is having 8 GB. So this is my volume which is came from source server. So if you see here, the root volume will be attached to delete on termination, but the secondary volume there will be no delete on termination. So you can identify here. So this is the life cycle where we can see exact status of the replication server. It is still not ready. If you go for ready for testing, it will be the next step, next action, waiting for initial sync to complete. When you are good to go, it will be in ready for testing. So let me refresh my page. It's still in replication progress. You can see in the dashboard also, initial replication status is in 100%. It is creating a snapshots. So when you can confirm that data replication status is in ready to go. So here you can see is healthy status. So then only the data replication status has been completed. Then you can launch instances, test instances or whatever instances post that. So without this initial sync 100% completed, you no need to install you need to launch the instances. So I recommend you to wait for a healthy status. So it is still in syncing. Let me pause the video. So, welcome back, guys. The data replication status is in healthy. So now you can start the replication status and the migration approach for the test cutover or final cutover. So if you can see here, the migration dashboard is ready for testing. So you are now ready for testing. Go ahead and launch the test cutover machine visit instance. So you can see here replication progress, initial replication has been finished. The next step is launch test instance. So if you can see here in the EC2 console, there is no running machine, the conversion machine, there is no EC2 test machine. So I have only replication server, which is of 8 GB and T3.small. So let's get back to my source server, the target server, migration dashboard. And if you click on launch test instances, you can see here you are able to launch EC2 instance for one server. So if I click on launch, so you can modify here launch settings, whatever the types. If you want to change the settings, you can go ahead here and edit your launch template settings. Right sizing, I have made it as the basic, so the AWS automatically will choose my instance type. So no copy private IP, so it will copy your private IP from source server, so it will be overlap. There should be no. And also you can before launching, you can modify your launch template. If you go here, launch template, so this is the default launch template by AWS. So it has been selected c5.large, which is more cost for me. So it has been not included any key pairs, no subnets. It has been taken defaultly. So if you see here, the conversion server has been started with the m4.large. So it is still initializing. If you go in here, click on the migration dashboard, you can find the job ID. So if you click on the job ID, you can see the progress. So it is the job has been started and that snapshot has been taken, and it is finalized the snapshot from the replication server to conversion server, and the conversion started. So let's wait, it will take some time to replicate. Let me refresh my page. So the conversion has been ended. So the conversion server need to be terminated. Okay. So you can see in the EC2 console, the conversion server has been terminated, and it is launching the test cutover EC2 instance. So when the test EC2 instance is launched, you can check the data, whether your data is migrated completely or not. Let me pause the video when the EC2 instances came up. Welcome back, guys. So the migration idea has been failed, the launch history. So you can see here the launching of test cutover instance has been failed. Before it was initiated the started service. And why it is failed, you can see here VPC ID not specified when calling the run instances operation. No default VPC for this user. Group name is only supported for EC2 classic and default VPC. So let's get back to the application migration service and go to the launch settings, which is, and edit your settings as off, so you can choose it manually, the default VPC, or you have created the one VPC, you need to attach it. So save settings and go to the EC2 instance launch template. You can see here application migration service always uses the default version of the EC2 instance launch template. So you can go here and modify your launch template. The modify template create a new version. It will create a new version for you. So currently it is in c5.launch. So if you refresh your page, I have edited the settings to t2.micro and instance type Tarun.test. So if you see here, it is still in c5.launch. So it doesn't know which subnet need to choose. So let me change this EC2 instance launch template. So I will go with the t2.micro. And I have created a key pair here in the destination account, which is in target region, North Virginia region. And I have attached my public subnet. I have created one security group rule and volume. If you choose here GP3, and I didn't enable KMS encryption, and I have a volume of 8 GB, so that's what I can go ahead. So that's it. I create template version. So any version 6 has been created. Go to the version and you can see here it is in 5 default version. So you need to click here and you need to modify your default version as 6. So it will choose the if you click here, it says application migration service always uses the default version. So if you modify here, it will choose as a default version 6, set as default version. So default version has been set as 6. So it will take here, and if you refresh the page, the t2.micro will be set to that my test instance. So if you see here that instance type is t2.micro, you see here the template ID has been changed and the base volumes as GP3 and security group, and the subnet is D83, which is in public subnet. I have no public IP enabled, so let me go and modify my own template. I haven't enabled my public IP. So if you see here, advanced network configuration, let me check where it is. The public IP should be enabled. Code settings, existing security group, auto assign public IP is disabled, so you need to enable this option. So this AWS console is changing day by day. I'm not getting the, I can see the option here itself, the instance settings, but the AWS is automatically changing the interface. So I am unable to find the option. So I have chosen the delete on termination. So create a template new version. So you can see here new version 7 has been created. So I am setting the default version as 7. Set default version. Go to the 7. Set. If you refresh the migration service page, launch template, go to the launch settings and check here public IP as enabled. So with the public IP, I need to connect with my server. So that's what I need, public IP in my target server, target destination region. So let's get back to the migration dashboard. It is ready for testing. So this job ID has been failed. So let me try to launch one more test instance. So view job details. So new job ID has been created, starting taking snapshot from the replication server. It will create one more conversion server and replicate the data from replication server to conversion server. Let's wait for that. So this is the previous job ID which you have created before that launch template settings has not been changed. So you can close this tab. It is stated taking snapshot. If you see here, the conversion server will be started when it is saying that conversion server has been started in the job ID. Let me refresh my page until it comes. Just still taking snapshot. So finish taking snapshot, conversion started. A new conversion server need to be replicated. A new conversion server has been started in the EC2 instance console. Let me check. So if you see here, a new conversion server has been started. It is in pending state. Let me refresh my page until it comes. The job ID need to be finished. So these are the launch template settings. Sorry. So you need to off this right sizing type. So you can choose whatever the instance you need for test cutover, and you can check that start instance upon launch. You can go ahead for yes or no. If it is Windows, you can bring your own license. And this is map programming tagging. So copy private should be enabled to no. Why? Because if you are having a same subnet or series, it will overlap your server. So these are the settings which I have showed earlier. You can write a description here. So it is started initializing. Go to my launch history, job ID. So if you see here, the conversion has been started. Still it is taking more time to replicate. It's still in initializing. It has been taken as m4.logs, so the conversion server has been stopped and a new EC2 instance should be booted up. So the conversion server has been stopped. So the conversion server has been shutting down. It has been going into terminate state, and new EC2 instance it is in pending state. It will start from stopping state to running. So if you can see here 10.80.100.75, this is my replication server, which is in the Mumbai region. So if you see here 10.80.100.75, so this is my server, and a new IP will be going to hit that. It will be 10.90 series. Why? Because the IP should not overlap. So if you see here the job ID, it is saying that started launching test or cutover EC2 instance. So we are in the stage of test EC2 instance. We are in the stage of testing. So it is started. The conversion has been ended. So the conversion server has been terminated. So if you see here, the machine has been stopped and it will be booted up in running state. Whenever the data transfer is in progress, it will be in stop state. Let me check the job ID. Still it is in progress of launching. So it is saying that successfully launched test or cutover EC2 instance. This is the instance ID where I can see in the console ending with 8A19. So this is the instance ID 8A19 in my EC2 console. So if you see here, it is in pending state from the stopper state. Defaultly, this is a AWS template automation code. It will be run in the backend. So if you see here, the running stage, the server has been booted up and it is in running state. The status text is initializing. You go here and check the MGN job ID. So it has been successfully launched and it is status has been completed at the time of 11:55 UTC 5:30. So let's get back to the EC2 target server and check my data whether it is replicated or not. So copy public IP, go to the new session, copy the IP address, authenticate with the key, PPK. So this is my Virginia key. So accept, go to EC2-user. This is Amazon Linux 2. So I need to authenticate with the EC2-username. Sudo sudo. So I am switching into root. So get back to root. ls. So if you see here, this is my source server 10.80.100.75. So this is a source server which I have created some files like cat Tarun, the file name mg1 and mgn2 and tarun.txt. I have written some contents in this file. So if you see here, the same 10.90 series target server has been replicated my data, and you can see this is the data which I want to replicate from source server to target server through MGN service. So this has happened when it is in test cutover. So let's get back to the MGN service. So it is in the dashboard as saying that it is in test in progress. So let me go to complete testing and mark as ready for cutover. So I have been test. So I'll go with the ready for cutover stage. So this server will be terminated and one more EC2 instance will be launched from the replication server, and it will create one more conversion server, and that conversion server will launch this final cutover EC2 instance. So let's get back and see that. So the next action is complete testing and marked as ready for cutover. If you click here ready for cutover, each EC2 instance will be terminated automatically. So go to testing and we have launched test EC2 instances and we have tested in progress and we have checked the data and mark it as ready for cutover. So if you click on ready for cutover, you are able to mark one server has been in test and ready for cutover. So if you click here as terminate launched instances recommended, it will, if you don't want to choose this option, you can. Let me click on this continue, view job details. So job has been started, the cleanup has been initiated. So if you see here, the EC2 instance will be shutting down. Let me refresh my job ID, MGN job ID. It is saying that cleanup has been started, the complete time is not completed. Let's write. This is a time taking process when you do performing test or cutover EC2 instance using the MGN service process. So it has been completed. It is saying that cleanup has been started, cleanup ended, job ID has been ended. So if you see here, the instance has been terminated. So go to the source server, the target server, which is in North Virginia console. So if you see here, the status is in ready for cutover. So the next step is launch cutover EC2 instance and go to cutover category and launch cutover EC2 instances. This will initiate one job ID. You can see here the job ID, and it will take from one copy from replication server to conversion server, and that conversion server will go to the EC2 instance final server. So let me check the job ID. Job has been started. Starting taking snapshot. It is taking snapshot from the replication server. Let me check my launch settings if I have enabled or not. Okay, the same settings which I have given for the before step, for the test step. So if you see here, migration dashboard, cutover is in progress. A new conversion server is going to start. Let me check in the job ID. So started taking snapshot, finished taking snapshot, and the conversions has been started. So let me check the EC2 console if the conversion server has been booted up or not. So here you can see that AWS application migration service conversion server has been booted up. It is taking from the snapshot from the replication server to conversion server. So this is the job ID where it works. MGN job ID. It will create automatically for every step. Conversion has been started. Conversion service running state, and it is in initializing. Now it should be the conversion server has been completed, and the conversion server will be terminated automatically, and a new EC2 instance, cutover EC2 instance, will be booted up. Let's wait for the time being. Still replicated in progress. It's still in initializing, but the server is running state. Let me stop the video. Whenever the job ID has been finished, I will resume the video. So you can see here the event job ID has been, conversion has been ended, and the started EC2 instance, the cutover machine. So when you go back to the EC2 console page, the conversion server has been terminated, and it is going to launch in one more EC2 instance. So this is my EC2 instance which is in cutover stage. So it will be starting in the stopper state. Let me refresh my page. The conversion server has been successfully terminated. This with the m4.launch. AWS has been taken defaultly, the conversion server and the replication process. So successfully launched test or cutover EC2 instance with the ending with the instance ID B6B. If you see here in the EC2 console B6B, so this is my cutover machine which I have launched. So this is the final machine which I need to test, and which we have tested the final machine with the ATA19. This is the test instance, and this is my cutover final machine. So we can log back in, and you can replicate the data. You can check the replicated data, and you can route the traffic to your website from website to here. This is the final machine. So let's check the data is replicated or not. Copy the public IP. So previously this machine is having a different IP. So now it has been 10.90.100.99. If you see here, this is my 10.80 series machine. This is my public IP. Let me log in and show you the private IP. So if you see here 10.90.100.99, this is my private IP, which is the final cutover machine. So get me back to switch user and check my data cd/root ls. So if you see here, the data has been replicated successfully, and we have tested the EC2 instance, and this is the final cutover machine which we can use post cutover activity. So let's get back to the EC2 console and check the page. It is still initializing. So job ID has been completed, and you can see here the migration dashboard of this target server. So it cutover in progress. So when you click cutover complete, it will be this when source server and target server it is in sync, right? The transfer will be terminated and cutover it should be completed. Whenever you click on cutover complete, the link between the source and target server will be terminated. So let me check. It is still in initializing. So this is not a process. This is not a worry thing. Okay, 2x2 checks has been passed for this server. This is my final cutover machine, which have been replicated from source to target region, from Mumbai to North Virginia region. So if you click on cutover complete, the final step has been done. Go to finalize cutover. So if you see here, the health data replication status is in healthy, and migration cycle is in cutover in progress, and it has been launched. So if you go and finalize cutover, you're able to finalize cutover for one server. The action cannot be reversed. So if you see here, if you launch test instances, and you can mark it as ready for cutover, and you can revert back to ready for testing, and it will go into the loop. So if you click on finalize cutover, it should not be in the loop. It will be distracted from the loop, and the loop will be deleted. So see here, finalize cutover. So all replicated data to be deleted, and the data replication to be terminated. So I have clicked on cutover complete, the final step. So let's get back to the EC2 console and check. So the final machine has been booted up, and it is in running state. You can see here the migration dashboard. So the data replication status has been disconnected from the source machine to target server. So this is where you can stop the data replication status when your machine has been booted up correctly, and you can successfully test it over the cutover machine. So that a cutover complete has been migration cycle. So this is how the migration will work from source to destination regions in the same AWS account with the user of application migration service I have showed you. This is the process where the application migration service will help. So you need to check the disk settings while you are doing the migration process, and the application template you need to configure before the MGN service is started, and you need to check that along settings whenever you are going to test cutover, or you can doing the cutover, finalize cutover. So you can go ahead and disconnect from service. So it has been already disconnected, and go to the servers. The data replication has been disconnected. Click on this, and you can go ahead as marked as archive. So it will be in the marked as archive. So my data replication has been completed, and there is no source server to be tested. There is no target server need to be cut over. There is no nothing here. So the migration service is completed, finalized. So this is where the application migration service will help. It will lift the EC2 instance from the source and shift to the target's region where it is established with the application migration service template. So that's it guys. Thanks for watching my video. Please do like, share and subscribe for more videos. Please let me know if you have any doubts or queries in this application migration service. Please post in the comment box. Thank you guys. That's it. Bye bye. And also I need to say that this EC2 console replication server will be automatically deleted whenever the migration completed. When you click the cutover is completed and marked as active, you no need to worry about this replication server. It will be terminated automatically. It will take some time to terminate. So that's it guys. Bye bye. Thanks for your time.